Want to hear all about the country that won the 2014 World Cup final? Today I'm going to tell you about the land of Germany and its culture that has shaped world history for decades. Germany is a country that I am proud to call the land of my ancestors. First, I am going to tell you everything you need to know about finding Germany on the map and an in-depth description about its geography. Then I'm going to give you a little background information about the culture from way back then all the way up to today. And last but not least, I will tell you everything you need to know about communicating in Germany. Let me begin by telling you a little bit about the great land of Germany. Germany is located almost in the dead center of Europe, with Netherlands, France, Austria, Czech Republic, and Poland bordering it. Surprisingly, Germany is almost about the same size of the country Japan or the state of Montana, but in Europe it is actually one of the biggest countries. One of the 16 states of Germany is its capital, Berlin, according to the section on Germany by Cultograms. Germany has been a powerhouse in the world for a very long time. Most of its culture is made up of Germans, but there are a select few other cultures that are abundant among them, including Italians, Greeks, Polish, and Turkish. With such a diverse population, they make up for a total of about 81 million strong and constantly growing. According to the section on government by Cultograms, the German government is classified as a federal parliamentary republic. They are currently under the reign of President Joachim Gauck and Chancellor Angela Merkel. Presidential terms are run in increments of about 5 years and can be re-elected for a second consecutive term, but no longer than that. German is spoken among almost all the population, but like any other country, different regions have different dialect accordingly. Although the language spoken mostly is German, most of the population can still read, write, and understand English. Among the school system, English is a required class. Like in America, most families have cars they drive and commute with daily. One of the interesting things about German transportation is the use of an Autobahn. An Autobahn is basically just a highway like we have here without speed limits. Among the use of own cars, just like in most other countries, Germans make use of public transportation such as trains, subways, and bus systems. If you are not a current citizen of Germany or any European country but want to further explore the awesome country, there are some guidelines that you need to follow in order to make it in. Pretty much the only way to be able to legally live in Germany is by the way of applying for a visa and getting a work permit, or in some situations even studying abroad for a certain period of time. Euros are the modern currency that is used among Germans and has a current exchange rate of $1.35 US per German euro. Now I will tell you about the cultural aspects of Germany. As some of you may know, Germans are really good at soccer, and that being said, may make them famous for their footballing skills, which recently led them to the major win in the 2014 World Cup final. Now, other than their recent success in the soccer world, Germans also take very well to producing musical artists. Dating back to the classical times of Beethoven and all the way to the modern times of today with German EDM producer Zedd. One of the most famous places to visit in Germany is the capital of Berlin. As many of you may know, Berlin was known for the wall that separated West Germany and East Germany. The Great Wall of Berlin was finally torn down under the word of U.S. President Ronald Reagan in 1987. Lastly, I was speaking about the way Germans communicate with each other. Like most humans, the most common way they greet each other is by way of a handshake. Also, like most other cultures, Germans will share a polite smile with one another every now and then, but it is very uncommon to just greet and shake a random person's hand on the street. A very common greeting in the German culture is Guten Tag, which simply means good day. Also, another gesture that is somewhat different from our American culture is addressing people who are not close or family members. In the German culture, if you are addressing somebody who is out of those circles, it is polite to address them by last name and not by their first name. Typical families in German culture are fairly small and tend to consist of a mother, a father, and 2 children. Large families are uncommon among German culture. Monogamy is how most Germans tend to lead their lives, but if a married couple unfortunately decides to get a divorce, it is very typical for the mother to gain custody of the children. Like Americans, Germans show a low power distance. Germans like to be very direct when communicating with each other, as truthfulness is always the preferred choice. Now that you know almost everything about Germany, their lifestyle, and its culture, let me conclude. First, I described the geography of Germany, then I gave you some background information of its culture. Last, I told you all about the way Germans communicate with one another. From this speech, I hope you get a better understanding of why I think Germany would be one of the best countries to visit.